Hello everyone, this is the imperishable Sammy Zenith. I'm looking really fly right now. Ooh, hi! Oh yeah! Ooh, hi, yeah! Look at my moves! Oh yeah! Wow! Alright, let's, so that's not what this video is about though. This video is about the Sonic movie yet again because yesterday, I don't feel like I got to say all of my thoughts about the movie because the video was already long enough and I didn't exactly have the hindsight to say everything that I need to say about that. So, let's start the video by talking about Sonic and how he is characterized in this movie because I don't think I, explains my thoughts on that in its entirety. So, Sonic in this movie, he's portrayed as being somewhat of a loner. He's sort of like an outsider because, as it's explained, he's from a different dimension, and he kind of has to remain hidden, or else, he'll attract more, like, menaces, as he did in the past when he was a kid. And more on that in a bit. But, yeah, he's kind of trying to stay hidden, but the trade-off to that is that he's kind of a loner. He, doesn't really have a family or any friends. And I think that's a really interesting, perspective on, Sonic for this movie. Doesn't work so much for the games because, Sonic, he's always, had his friends, he's, as well as, like, the woodland critters. He doesn't necessarily need a family in the games. He's, he cares more about, like, going fast and just really, like, his own speed than, like, people. Sorry, I keep on getting message notifications. But anyways, but for this movie, I think it works. I think it's an interesting take on the character, and, it's very, relatable. You definitely, feel for Sonic, and honestly, I do like, these messages in movies about, just making it about, like, family. Detective Pikachu sort of did that too, with the main character, and his dad and whatnot. So, I do like these, messages about, or these themes about family, I should say. I think it, oh my. Anyways, I think it actually, yeah, somebody threw that in. So, anyways, I think it works. In case you're wondering, I'm at Kohl's. So, yeah, I'm like in a changing room. That's why I'm wearing this awesome outfit. But anyways, gosh, what was I, even saying? I think it works for these movies that are about, video games, because, you kind of have to, make these movies sort of stand out on their own as, like, stories, because, video games and movies are a very different, medium of art, so I think that's why, there's been so much difficulty in the past, adapting video games into movies. But I think it really, I think they did a good job, Paramount, I think they did a good job with this film, as I explained in my, previous video. So, yeah. Alright, next let's talk about, Dr. Robotnik, or Dr. Eggman. So, is he like the Eggman from the video games? Not really. He's, as you know, he's played by Jim Carrey, and he's more like, a Jim Carrey, character than, the Dr. Eggman from the video games. So, it kind of like Ace Ventura or, something like that. The Mask, you're probably familiar with the various roles he's played over the years, but that's just kind of how Jim Carrey is as an actor. That's sort of the appeal he's built up over the years. So, he's more like just one of those other Jim Carrey characters than, the Dr. Robotnik from the video games. But as the movie progresses, he starts to become more like the Robotnik from the video games. And Sonic even creates the nickname, Dr. Eggman, and he goes on to, embrace that. It's a lot like how it is in the games. Sonic created that as sort of like an insult. It eventually just sort of became his name. Well, actually, I might be wrong about that. I think Dr. Eggman came from, like, the Japanese Sega Genesis titles. I forget, my knowledge is a bit rusty about that. But anyways, yeah, so as the movie progresses, I forgot to mention that I am getting into spoilers in this video in case that wasn't obvious. So, yeah, I even said that on the previous video that, I am getting into spoilers. So I suggest you watch that video first and, just keep in mind that I am getting into spoilers. That's just how it's going to be. But anyways, as the movie progresses, he, like, loses his mind, sort of, and by the end of the movie, he's, like, trapped in Mushroom Hill Zone, and he's completely, like, shaved off his head, and he's pretty much like the Dr. Eggman from the video games at that point. He's definitely, like, more swole, I guess, he's, because the Eggman from the video games is kind of, like, plump, hence why he's called Eggman, but, Jim Carrey's Eggman, like, unless he puts on a fat suit, he just kind of has to look like that, but it's okay. But yeah, I overall thought Dr. Eggman was a very, like, entertaining villain in this movie. I still really like Jim Carrey's take on him. And one of my favorite scenes was, like, where he was dancing in his little machine room, his machine chamber. That was freaking hilarious. He was, like, turning on the holograms. That was hilarious. And, of course, if you've seen the trailers, Dr. Robotnik, he's kind of, like, just a jerk to everyone. Like, he was talking down to that army general dude, and, also he has, like, his own henchman who he's constantly, like, talking down to. So that's pretty funny. It's just classic Robotnik. But, anyways, yeah, so, as you can see with this nonsense over here, I should probably exit this changing room. Gonna have a little change of scenery here, because, apparently some people are triggered by the fact that I'm making a video, literally not interfering with you in any way. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna exit this changing room and, gonna continue this discussion. Alright everyone, I'm resuming the video out here. I'm in the men's section of the store. Like I said, I'm at Kohl's. But anyways, so we're gonna talk about Sonic's origin story in the movie. I think, I think they did a good job with his origin story. They didn't really explain, like, why he has those powers, but, I don't think they really needed to give an explanation for that, or at least, not this soon. I'm sure they'll make sequels, but, or who knows, maybe they won't, because, apparently something happened with, like, the animation company, but still, that doesn't mean they won't make a sequel, because they definitely teased it in the cliffhanger of the movie, like the mid-credits, I mean. So,
as well as like Dr. Eggman still sort of being out there, and he's more like his video game incarnation. But anyways, about Sonic's origin story. They don't explain how he got his powers, but we never had an explanation for that in the games either. It's just not really necessary, so I don't think they ever really need to do that in a movie. Like, just, you know, let Sonic be Sonic. There doesn't need to be a reason for why he's that fast. But anyways, I'm just gonna chill right here. Just chilling. Just chilling. Anyways, what was I saying? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Sonic having this mother figure, you know, the owl lady. God, I forgot her name, but she wasn't in the movie that much. Anyways, I sort of, liked that. You know, it really helps to humanize Sonic more, which is really the direction that they were going for, you know, making this, message in the movie about, like, family, you know, being alone, which is, I think, something everyone has to deal with at some point in life. But yeah, I know, it was never really confirmed whether she, perished or not. I don't think she did. I think, she may be coming back in future movies. I think she sent Tails on this quest or something, because, you know, why else would why else would Tails even know to search for Sonic? Or, well, apparently Sonic had quite a reputation, like, with those echidnas hunting him down. By the way, that was interesting. How we have this clan of echidnas hunting down Sonic. Like, I wonder what that's about, and are they in any way connected to Knuckles? If they make sequels to this movie, Knuckles has to, be in, you know, one of the future movies. Hopefully the next one. You know, they have to do that, and, you know, in the video game series anyways, sorry, in the video game series, Knuckles is the last of the Echidna clan, but in this movie that doesn't really seem to be the case. Well, it was a flashback, but still, I mean, I don't know why that would have changed. So there are more echidnas out there than Knuckles, at least in this movie continuity. So I think that's pretty interesting. I hope they sort of delve into that a bit more. And you know, there are definitely a lot of things that I want to see, like, from a potential sequel or sequel series. Like, definitely have Metal Sonic at some point. Definitely have, like, what was I gonna say? Perfect Chaos. That would be awesome. I was talking about, with a fan about that in the comment section of my previous video, that they should, definitely, you know, do a movie about Perfect Chaos. That would be, legendary. There are a lot of, you know, things that they could do, and, really, I think that warrants a video of its own. So, yeah. So in the next movie, I'm really interested to see how they, portray Sonic and Tails' friendship, you know, how that developed, how that came to be, because, in my opinion, Sonic and Tails are a good symbol of, like, friendship and loyalty and companionship, that I think, you know, everyone should strive for, eventually. So, I think, I also think, you know, in the next movie, they should definitely introduce Super Sonic and, like, the Chaos Emeralds. You know, I talked about the possibility of Perfect Chaos making an appearance as, like, the main antagonist, but, you know, even without that, character being present. You know, I still think they should introduce Supersonic to this movie continuity. I think that would be really awesome. You know, I think that would make a lot of people want to go and see it, because they sort of tease it in this movie with like his power up in the climax of the movie, but it wasn't quite that. It wasn't quite supersonic because you know, he can't transform without the Chaos Emeralds. So you know, he sort of remained in his space form, so it kind of was like supersonic, but not really. And, you know, like I said in the previous video, I think, Tom and, Sonic have, like, good, chemistry in this, oh, I'm sorry, good chemistry in this, movie. You know, I definitely like, you know, sort of the, what do you call it, the dichotomy that they have, you know. Tom is like this, you know, this lawful citizen, you know, he's a law enforcer, that's what he is. And Sonic, you know, he's sort of like a delinquent, or, well, you know, he's not like, Sonic's not causing trouble all the time. He sort of was at the beginning of the movie, like, messing with Tom's radar, but, you know, he's not like, robbing banks or something. But, you know, Sonic, I'm just talking about Sonic in general. He's always had this sort of, like, rebellious trait about him, you know, so I think the contrast between the two, works really well, you know. Sonic's always just been this, cool dude, you know, too cool for school, all that stuff. So, I think, like I said, that dichotomy, sort of works. But, yeah, in, like, future videos, I'm definitely interested in, talking about the current state of the Sonic series as a whole, not just the movies. I definitely think the, movie will impact the series in some way. I'm not talking about, like, the main continuity, because it's a separate canon. You know, it's not the main canon. This movie has nothing to do with main canon, in case... I mean, that's kind of obvious. I shouldn't even have to clarify that, but, some people will misunderstand that. That's just how people are. But, anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I think, you know, I definitely like to talk about, like, what the next project Sega might be working on could be. Well, they definitely are working on something. They've confirmed that, so it's not just speculation at this point. It's already been confirmed. But, let's see. I don't think I have anything else to say. I think I finally gotten everything off my mind. There's a lot to unpack with that movie. Lots of, Easter eggs. You know, I'm glad they, didn't just, like, make this movie absolutely nothing like the games. You know, I think they, did a good job at, like, making it an homage to the video games. So, yeah, sorry, I'm getting distracted by my surroundings. Thank you all for watching. I've had a day to think about it, and, I'm still keeping my rating for the movie at, 9 out of 10. I really did, like the movie, and, you know, I'm interested in, seeing it again. You know, when it comes out on Blu-ray, or, who knows, maybe I may even, like, go into the theater a second time and, watch it. Because, I mean, you all know me. You all know me. You know me. You know me. Oh. Alright, let's conclude the video here. Thank you all for watching. This has been the imperishable Sammy Zenith. Goodbye, citizens. Hey, something I forgot to, clarify in the, video, how I think the movie will impact the series as a whole, the Sonic series as a whole. You know, like I said, doesn't affect the, like, the main, canon, but I think, just in terms of the popularity, like, movies are made for, you know, publicity, especially when it comes to, like, adaptations of books or video games, whatever not. So, I think, you know, this, movie will definitely give the series as a whole a bit more traction. You know, I think it will help, future games of the series in the sales numbers, or, you know, just whatever the next Sonic game will be, the Sonic game that will be coming out in 2021, as, Sega confirmed for the, 30th anniversary of the Sonic series. So, I think that'll definitely help the sale numbers go up, because, I don't think Sonic Forces sold particularly well. Sonic Mania sold well, you know, just because I think they did a better job of advertising that game, and, you know, there's a lot more about that game to like than there was, with Sonic Forces. I mean, Sonic Forces did have, like, the Avatar gimmick going for it, but, I don't know. Sega did claim that Sonic Forces did alright in, you know, the market, like, with sales. I haven't seen any, official data about that be released to my, knowledge or recollection. If I'm mistaken, you know, do let me know in the, comment section. So, oh yeah, also, another thing I wanted to, talk about in the movie, so they didn't put Gangsta's Paradise in there, thank God. But, they did put Don't Stop Me Now, and I'm noticing that's been in a lot of movies recently, like Shazam, for instance. I feel like there's another one that I'm forgetting, but, anyways, I love that song, actually, you know, by Queen, Freddie Mercury, you know, he's a very talented individual, or he was, you know, so, anyways, I liked that, little inclusion, and also in the previous video, I, forgot to clarify, like, how Sonic impacts me, you know, just in my personal life. You know, I find that, you know, like, when I'm interacting with people, sometimes I sort of emulate the way Sonic is, you know, just, you know, in terms of his, energy, his liveliness, you know, I sort of try to emulate that in my own, like, interactions with people. And not only that, but, this is sort of a little known fact, but I'm not actually, like, I'm actually into running, particularly, like, long distance running, but, I'm also, pretty fast as well, but, sprinting isn't necessarily what I focus on. I focus on long distance, but, yeah, so Sonic, in a way, inspires me to run. You know, nowadays, like, I'm an adult, you know, I find the motivation to run within myself, but as a kid, Sonic the Hedgehog definitely motivated me to, you know, get outside, get active, and run. Anyways, thanks for bearing with me. I think I've finally gotten everything off my mind. I know it was a lot. It's kind of a disorganized mess. You know, and also it doesn't help how in that store I was just sort of getting distracted, but at the same time, I think there's a certain charm to going out in public and making these videos. Anyways, thank you all for bearing with me. I hope you enjoyed this extended review of the movie.